So in my uh, everyday uh, sports watching, it's wrestling right now because there's really nothing on TV. I missed the Olympics already. That's my evening TV viewing is all awry now because there's no Olympics. But I digress. Mark Hunter was promoted by the Leafs today to assistant GM. I will applaud that move as the Hunters, Dale and Mark in particular, have proven to be smart hockey guys. I haven't heard anything about Dave. I mean, there was three brothers who played in the 80s. They were overshadowed by the Sutters. There were five Sutters. So just by sheer numbers, the Hunter brothers were overshadowed, but they were all talented players. Dale was dirty player at times, but they were all good players, and I liked them all at different times. It was hard to like Dale after the Turgeon hit and some of the other crap he pulled, but you know, the end result here is that Mark Hunter being promoted by the Leafs. I like that. So I look at this and I'm like, wow, I've had this summer where there's all kinds of videos of me saying, oh, wow, the Leafs have done really smart things. They've done some really smart moves. I can't believe this. And there's nobody on the Leafs I hate. What's going on? I don't hate any of the current Maple Leafs. And then scrolling across the bottom of my screen is the Maple Leafs have signed Brandon Prust to a tryout contract. That means he comes to training camp on a tryout. So he hasn't been signed. He's not on the team. I don't get why. Brandon Prust is not a young player. Brandon Prust doesn't have scoring acumen. Brandon Prust takes down penalties. Brandon Prust is known for being a hothead. He kind of took his ball and went home on Vancouver last year. He played his way out of Montreal. I'm not sure what Toronto's. I mean, they got Matt Martin. I mean, you got your grit in the bottom six, and you've got all these other guys who can come in and play in your bottom six. And Prust. Now, do I think he's going to make the team? No. I just thought it was funny because I've been saying all summer the Leafs don't have anybody that I hate. This is a weird universe we live in. And then it's like somebody in Toronto went, who does he complain about? Kessler. Well, we can't get Kessler. Prust? We can get Prust. Yeah, no, he complains about. We got to give him somebody to hate. So I appreciate that. It's funny too. I did all the opening rosters, and admittedly, there's 24 on all my opening rosters. I know the limit's 23. Got called out on that for a video today. So, but I know. Oh, there it is again. Maple Leafs invite free agent Brandon Prust to camp on PTO, so tryout. But I know. So one of the extras doesn't make the team. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying here's where I see the rosters being. I don't, one extra guy doesn't make it. Okay. It's funny too. I read on the Canucks forum. Canucks fans are worried that Alex Biega could get waived by the Canucks because of the depth on defense. Depth in terms of players, not in terms of really quality top four talent. And they're like, well, we could lose Biega on waivers. My question then becomes, who needs Biega? Alex Biega is 28 years old. He's had one season where he actually stayed in the NHL, and that was last year. He's not a very good offensive defenseman. He's okay defensively. He puts up okay numbers for a defensive defenseman. I can't see anybody taking him on waivers. Because if you take, let's say I'm the Bruins GM, okay, and I waive a guy, and you take him, and then you waive him, I get first shot at getting him back. Like Frank Corrado. Corrado got picked up on waivers by the Leafs from the Canucks, and then the Leafs did some weird, funky crap to make sure they wouldn't have to waive Corrado again. They kept sending him to the minors on conditioning stints. I think they did it just to bug Canucks fans, and it worked. It really honestly worked. There were all these conspiracy theories, and I kept thinking, it's just Frankie Corrado. It's not like this is Shea Weber or something, or Ryan Suter. This is just Frank Corrado. He wasn't even a regular in the Canucks lineup at any point in his career with Vancouver. But they did that so that they wouldn't have to waive him because the Canucks could pick him up again. And I think Benning figured that Corrado would slip through, and then he didn't. And it does it look bad on Benning? Maybe. But if they kept Corrado, they would have had to waive Biega. So the the funny part is, and I mean they could have waived Yannick Weber, but Yannick Weber was coming off of a decent season with 11 goals, and there's no offense on the Canucks blue line, so you keep the guy who scored you 11 goals last year because you never know, he might do even 3/4 of that. Even if he scored 7 or 8 last year, you keep him. But Yannick Weber was kind of a train wreck last year in Vancouver. But I just find fans funny that way. Sort of like me complaining about Prust on on a tryout contract with the Leafs. It's one of those things I look at and it's like you guys just couldn't leave it alone. It's like I got another big fat pack of MVP cards. What did I pull? Now I've had 2 packs of fat packs, MVP, 16, 17 Upper Deck. Out of 2 packs, I have acquired 2 Jack Johnsons and 2 Evander Kanes. This isn't funny, Upper Deck. It has to stop, okay? If I pick up a 3rd pack and I get another Evander Kane and another Jack Johnson, no, I'm just kidding. I laughed when I saw it. They were at the back of the pack. I'm like, of course, Jack Johnson and Evander Kane are in here because they're 2 guys that I wouldn't want on any of my teams at all. Because, yeah, he provides offense from the blue line on some level, but defensively, he's just abysmal. Just abysmal. And I remember, in terms of Vancouver fans, every time Johnson touched the puck, his first year when he came into Vancouver, he got booed out of the building. Like, he was, the #1 most hated American junior player in Vancouver. I don't remember why. I know Canucks fans, some of them will remember why. I don't remember why. It doesn't really matter now. But no, I honestly, I found that funny today. It's like Mark Hunter got promoted. I'm like, yes, way to go, guys. Way to put together a really solid foundation. And you're building this great Brendan Prust. What's this about Prust? Why, why are you doing this? Like, I honestly, and this is the truth, going into this season, I want to go into it as fresh as possible. I want to go into this saying, you know what, I'm a YouTuber now, which last season I was towards the end of the playoffs, but not really because I was still posting to Facebook for friends of mine and family back east. And, it wasn't a distinct hockey channel. Now it's a distinct hockey channel. I want to be as objective as possible because sometimes when you watch media reports, it's not as objective as possible. So, like, I have to find somewhere deep down inside an ability to cheer for any of the 30 teams on any given night. There's going to be times where it's not possible. When Boston's playing Montreal, it's just not. It just isn't. I can't. And Toronto against Boston, I can't cheer for Toronto. I can't. It's physically impossible. I can't do it. But when it's not one of my favorite teams, I want to be able to just say, all right, I can just be neutral here. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough with Anaheim because there's a lot of guys in Anaheim I don't like. It's going to be tough. It's going to be really, really tough with Montreal. But I genuinely thought Toronto, coming into this season, I thought, I could do this. I could let go of all of my past resentment for the Maple Leafs and just be okay. And maybe the Capitals. Maybe I can find teenage Shannon who loved the Capitals and bring him back to the surface and learn to love again. And maybe they won't hurt my feelings this time. Maybe it'll be okay. I don't have a lot of faith in that because I went through this 30 years ago. And honestly, my turning against the Caps came around when Kolzig retired. They were going through a new goalie every year. Good goalies, but it was like they kept just recycling more and more goalies. And I'm like, okay, so they've got, Varlamov. No, okay. They've got Neuwirth. Oh, no, okay. And then Holtby came in. There were a couple others in between, and I was like, okay, I can't get a feel for this team. And they traded Varlamov, and I didn't see a whole lot of vision, and I didn't like George McPhee. That was part of the problem. That's going to be a problem when Vegas comes in next year. I don't like George McPhee as a GM, which is weird because I liked George McPhee as an assistant GM in Vancouver. It's like Tambellini. Tambellini, I loved him as an assistant GM in Vancouver. I thought when he went to Edmonton, I thought the Oilers have finally got a non-Oiler GM. They're finally going to start making improvements. And then it didn't happen. Tambellini was a disaster. But then again, in Vancouver, we got Mike Gillis, who I thought was going to be really good, and he did well the first year, and then disaster broke out. But it's going to be interesting to see whether or not I can keep that up into the regular season. Can I be neutral? Can I at the end of the night say the Leafs tonight beat? Let's go with one of the teams I kind of cheer for, Ottawa, and they're full value. Well, you know, Ottawa. I mean, Ottawa's one of the teams that I've cheered for in the past, and I still cheer for them. And I'd love, not of all of the Canadian teams, the one I'd most like to see hold up a Stanley Cup, other than Vancouver, obviously Vancouver, would be Ottawa. I would think it would be fantastic because Ottawa's played in two shadows between the Montreal Canadiens and the Toronto Maple Leafs. And it is frustrating to come out on your home ice and have half the fans cheering for the guys who are the visitors. And it has to be frustrating for the team, whether they'll admit it night by night or not. Oh, there was something interesting too. I actually thought this was kind of funny. Okay, so my pack, I got Matthew Perreault, Chris Kreider, Jimmy Howard, Johnny Boychuk, Martin Jones of San Jose, yeah, Benoit Pouliot of Edmonton, better known as Chicken in my house. And then the insert I got, the league leaders insert I got, is Kyle Turris. So I thought, wow, Ottawa fans who watch my videos would be like, he doesn't deserve Kyle Turris. And then I got one of the puzzle cards. You get one of these in every pack now, and it's Brett Connolly on the front. So I guess Brett Connolly gets no stats on the back of his card. He's not worthy of them. I picked up Shea Weber. I picked up James Neal. Of all of the jerseys in the NHL, I find it funny that the yellow Nashville one, everybody talks about how wonderful and beautiful it is, and I don't see it. I don't. I see ugly. I do. I just see ugly. I think they've had so many ugly jerseys over the year that they brought this one out and people went, all right. I liked their blue third jersey better. I thought the third jersey was better. Vincent Trocheck. Trocheck for Florida. Anders Lee, the Islanders. Roman Josi of Nashville. It's a big Nashville pack. Yaroslav Halak, the Islanders. Jerome McGinley of Colorado. And there's another Senator, Bobby Ryan. Sean Couturier, halfway through the pack. Robin Lehner. So you go with the fat packs, you get 34 cards. So if you're just trying to collect a set, you go with the fat packs. And then I kind of went nuts when I saw John Klingberg. I'm like, awesome, I got a John Klingberg card now. David Perron. Elias Lindholm, who was one of my picks for breakout this year. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. Ryan Callahan, who's one of my least favorite players, and wearing the ugliest jersey. I never understood that. Their name isn't the Bolts. I know that's a nickname, but and then Ottawa with the Sens jersey, and they're both equally ugly shirts. They're just boring. I don't understand it. Lars Eller, Cody Eakin, Michael Backlund wearing the jersey I almost bought but didn't because I have enough. I have enough of Calgary jerseys. Kevin Shattenkirk, stupid fan. Brandon Leipsic, so that's a rookie card. According to this card, it says rookie. It doesn't mean it's necessarily a rookie card. Thomas Plakanich, Michael Granlund, Jonathan Huberdeau, Patrick Marleau, Nathan McKinnon. Where are the Canucks? There's Jack Johnson. There he is. And there's Evander Kane. No Canucks. So yeah, that's the pack I bought, and that's how my night's been going with Leafs talk. Congratulations on Mark Hunter. I generally feel at this stage of the game you've got a young team, and you need veterans on that team. I get that. I do. But I would not pick Brandon Prust as a mentor for young players. If he was an ideal guy for that, he'd still be in Vancouver. And he played his way out of Vancouver. Canucks decided they'd rather have Dorsett. The fact they had Dorsett meant, see, I don't trash the cash in and a fifth rounder for Prust trade as much as a lot of Vancouver fans do. My problem is this. Trading cash in and a fifth is fine. But Prust wasn't the kind of player they needed because they already had Derek Dorsett. So I'm not sure what the thought process was there. Because Prust wasn't the kind of guy they needed. Now, what they could have got for him, I don't know. Because I'm not Benning and I wasn't shopping him around. But it didn't feel like Cashian got shopped as much as he got thrown. Like when Jeff Brown left Vancouver and he went to Hartford for, it was Jim Dowd and Frank Kuchera. I think that was the trade. And I remember Canucks fans were all like, wait, we traded a defenseman capable of almost a point a game for Frank Kuchera and Jim Dowd. Jim who? And, Dowd went on to a decent career as a fourth liner, and Kuchera was serviceable. But we didn't know until later why Jeff Brown was available for such a cheap price. But it never felt like he was shopped around the league as much as there was a phone call made to Hartford, and how would you like to have Jeff Brown? And what do you offer us? That's fine. And they took the first offer. And Hartford probably thought, why was that so easy? It's sort of like when somebody says, I'll sell you this, whatever item, MP3 player, whatever, their phone. I'll sell you what'll you give me for it? I don't know, $5. And they go, sold. You're going to look at that phone and go, did it fall in the toilet? Is it going to explode? Is there battery acid in it? Why was that so easy? Seriously, you will never feel completely safe with that phone. And so Jeff Brown, when he was that easily acquired by the Hartford Whalers, I'm sure the truth came out. I'm sure Hartford's like, why? What's going on? And then Vancouver said, here's the reason we have to get rid of him now. Do you want him? And Hartford's like, sure. So, and then he moved around the league quite a bit after that. He went from Hartford, Washington, Toronto, and that was in a period of, I think it was like 3 years. And I just pictured him just going from locker room to locker room, and as soon as he came in, just players going, oh, it's that Jeff Brown guy. And there had to be some kind of a rep at that point. Because he moved around a lot, and he never moved for much. Teams never gave up a whole lot for Brown. It was just, you could tell teams were just getting rid of him. And the Canucks did that with Cashin. But I do wonder if they'd actually shopped Cashin. Like, maybe, I hate to say this, would the Bruins have, fuck my life, the Bruins probably would have given up more. Sweeney probably would have given up a first or a second for Cashin and then tried to sell it to the Bruins like he just got this handful of magic beans and he's going to make a giant out of it. Like anyways, Sweeney's another headache for me. I don't have a GM of one of my favorite teams that I really, really believe in. I've got Benning in Vancouver. I got Sweeney in Boston. And then in Dallas, I've got Jim Nill, who has done some good things. And then you look at the net. It's sort of like that hot person. I'm not going to say guy or girl because this works on both sides of the fence, okay? You got a hot person who's got that one flaw, whether it's their face, whether it's their feet, something's wrong with their hands. There's something that's off. And that's the goaltending for Dallas. Everything looks beautiful, and then you get to the net and you go, oh, That could have been such a babe. And then that just made it all disappear. Like I said, that happens for men and for women. So any women who might be watching this, who might say, he's being sexist. No, no, no. Guys are that way too. Um, I'm a train wreck other than I think my calves. I think that's probably it. Anywhere above or below the calves, it's a shit show. But, you know, what can I say? Um, I'm not the spring chicken I once was. Anyhow, thanks for watching. I believe that's it for me for tonight, unless anything else occurs to me. I just found that funny that the Leafs promote Hunter, and I'm like picturing this like this. I couldn't put this together like this. This is a perfect storm of I'm not a Leafs fan, but this is making it really difficult, and then this happens. Um, I will say this: I am really leaning towards starting my season previews tomorrow and doing an in-depth on each team. So I've thought it over, and I'll probably start tomorrow, and I'm going to go in alphabetical order so that I know there's certain fans of certain teams going, I'd like to see these first. I think I should go in alphabetical order, so I'll start tomorrow with the Anaheim Ducks, and that means I'll finish with the Winnipeg Jets. So, within a month, I may have a Jets jersey. I don't have a Ducks jersey. I realized that I had one and I gave it away. And it was a very selfless gesture I made to somebody that at the time I thought I was being nice, and I shouldn't have been nice. I honestly, when they said, wow, that's an amazing jersey, I should have said, yeah, and keep your hands away from it. Don't touch it. But I didn't do that, and that's my own mistake. It was actually the purple original Mighty Ducks, and it was in fantastic condition. There was nothing wrong with it. So I expect all the comments below about you gave away. Yeah, I gave it away. I gave it away because it's the Ducks. I don't wear Ducks. It didn't matter that it was the Mighty Ducks and it was from their expansion year. I was like, I don't wear it. Oh, you like it? Take it. I wish in retrospect I hadn't, because now I'm going to get all 30 teams, and I realized there's a hole in my collection. And it's not just the Winnipeg Jets, because I have the Atlanta Thrashers, but technically not the Jets. And so, yeah, so that's where we're at. Anyways, thanks for watching. I have a jersey coming in tomorrow, as I said in my video earlier. So I will be definitely talking about that when I get it, and talking about what condition it's in. And if it's in really good condition, I'll even drop the name of the seller that I bought it off of. So that those of you who watch this and want to buy jerseys go, okay, this seller was, okay. Shannon said they're okay. And when I get all the other jerseys too, I may list the sellers I got them through in a video in the description section, so that you guys know which ones are on the up and up, because there are fakes out there. I see plenty of jerseys on eBay that they're like rare jersey. As soon as I see rare, I go, oh, it's a fake. And I look and it's like, okay, that never got worn. Now, there's an Avalanche one which is blue, like the powder blue with the red around it. But that, while they never wore that one in a game, that is a genuine jersey. I did see it in the stores. There's a Dallas one with the star that's black, and I think that one's genuine as well. So I'll go through these, I'll figure out which ones are genuine, but when I see rare, a lot of the times it's a fake. The number one way I've seen to figure out they're fake, you go to, I think it's NHLuniforms.com. There's an NHL uniform site that shows you all of the uniforms teams have worn. Go to the eBay listings and compare the size of the logo. A lot of these cheap wannabes that are being made at home, I think, these aren't even the Chinese knockoffs. The logo seems too small. The logo seems way too small. And I'm like, okay, that's not real. So I just don't touch it. There was even one I saw that had the Canucks flying, or the Canucks skate. But what they've done is they've taken 6 of the little logos and glued them to the front of the jersey, so you have 6 of them, 2 rows of 3, and they're selling it for like $50. And they're like, oh, this is really well homemade. And I'm like, that's really ugly. So you have to watch. So when you look and you see jersey, good sale, that's a really good price, and it says rare, it could be a fake. So keep your eyes open, and I'll get more into that in another video at another time. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again later.